And we are joined here at the top of the show by video journalist Arash Arabasadi, who has been part of the VOA team covering events in Ukraine. And welcome back, Arash. Glad to have you here.
Thank you. It's really nice to be back.
Arash, it's great to have you back. And you were there in Ukraine with VOA correspondent Brian Padden, covering these events in the eastern part of the country where separatists have overtaken government buildings. This really wasn't a very easy assignment for journalists either. Tell us about that.
Yeah, no, this wasn't Club Med. The eastern part of the country has its own special challenges, but when you're a journalist and you're a Western and you're an American journalist and your news outlet's name has America in the title, we were not well received. And we were there for a few days before our movements really became limited. We were out in public areas, and when you're surrounded by people who are, again, aggressive towards Western journalists, they can make you from far away. So after a day or two of being seen at these rallies, there wasn't much movement that we could do. The second we'd show up, they would come and forcibly escort us out.
Now, you, I'm sure, have had a variety of scary moments that have occurred, I presume, and tell us about at least some of those that you've encountered.
In the eastern part of Ukraine was the first time where I've ever actually had somebody try to knock over the tripod or try to forcibly remove the camera from my hand. Yeah, right. I mean, at Cairo last year, this is a very tight, dense population of rebellion, and here in Ukraine it was just small groups of people, but they were so angry at us, and they were pushing Brian Padden, they were pushing me, and yeah, there was one guy came and ripped a piece of the camera off, and I had to take it back from his hand. That's a first. That's a first.
What kinds of things were they saying to you?
Some of them I probably shouldn't repeat on air, but they were a lot of stuff about holding signs saying CIA is not welcome here and Americans go home, and they really had no interest in talking to us because these small groups didn't really see the value of talking to American journalists. They would grant all kinds of interviews, really almost to anybody, but really especially to Russian media outlets, but when it came to us, not at all. And it's hard to argue with somebody who's got a mask and an axe in his hand.
Now, of course, we've lost some journalists here at Voice of America, and you're in a danger zone, and you're around crowds, which you've been around before. Were you fearful, I guess, for your life while you were there, or was it not quite like that?
There was a moment where we went to a municipal building that had been taken over by separatists. It's hard to call them pro-Russian or whatever. They were separatists from Kiev. And in order to get to that building, we had to go through several hundred people who were there as part of a rally. And they weren't letting us go through. And what went from, no, you're not allowed in, very quickly escalated to us being surrounded. And us being surrounded, again, it's one thing to be surrounded by young men in masks and who have hand weapons. But it's another thing altogether when there are people my parents' age there and they're shouting all these awful things at us. There was a point where when we were surrounded and they're screaming at us, that was probably one of the more intense moments in my career as a journalist, dealing with a large crowd situation because they were so angry at us.
Tell us about this incident, Arash. We know that you had a moment when a military helicopter exploded near where you were. What happened? Yeah,
that type of excitement I can take all day because that's just great. We were in the town of Kramatorsk, and it was really a slow shooting day. Not much going on. We're at this airfield where the special ops forces had set up, and as we're driving out of town, we hear the loudest boom I'd ever heard, and I immediately tell the driver, this is how you know that you're this kind of journalist or that kind of journalist. We're running toward the gunfire. So we hear this explosion and tell the driver, go that way. And we go, and there's this black billowing smoke, and it's literally blocking out the sun. It turns out that it was a military chopper, got hit with an RPG, and everything in that chopper, like bullets and rockets, is now exploding. And we get there at this moment, I jump out of the car, and I've got the camera rolling, and this piece of the helicopter just explodes, and almost in slow motion, we watch it flying right at us. I mean, if the camera was shooting 3D, it was such a cool shot. So it's coming right at us. We dive out of the way and got the camera rolling, and we use the car as cover to get around to some safety. And we're talking to some local villagers there, and while we're talking to them, it continues exploding. These loud, earth-shaking booms. It was awesome to be able to capture that on video. So once we got out, took a head count, counted fingers and toes, and everybody was there in one piece. It was like, awesome, we did a great job
What do
today.
you take away from a trip like this when you go there and you come back? What do you take with you, bring back?
So this was my second time to Kiev in the past month and a half, to Ukraine. And what I take from this, I guess, is you build a relationship when you're in the field with somebody. With Brian Padden, he and I have worked together before, but when you're in these types of circumstances that your lives are a little bit on the line, there's this bond and this camaraderie, and you remember that. You tell that story years later of, you know, remember that time when we almost didn't make it out of that crowd. So
Yeah.
that's a pretty nice thing to be able to take
We're
away.
going to have you back on the program, I'm sure, for a lot more stories that Arash Arabasadi is going to bring to us. So thanks for coming on the program.
Always
Glad
a
you're
pleasure.
safe.
Thank you
Of
so much
course.
for
Always a
your
pleasure.
bravery.
Thanks,
Really,
guys.
we appreciate it.